Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the Thunderstruck Kiernan's Gogo Juice Mini Stock Series tonight. These mini stocks will be taking on Langley Speedway for 75 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight's event. My name is Atlee @Manwees, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's short track racing action. It's the season finale. These drivers have worked hard all season long, and now it's finally time to see where they will wind up after this race. We've gone to a lot of different tracks. We've seen a lot of different winners, but it's finally time to finish things out here at one of America's greatest short tracks, Langley Speedway. And coming into this race, we had a race last week at Oxford Plains up in Maine. So only one caution, only one lead change. And after 75 laps, Dylan Bates got the win after starting the race in second. He led a race most 64 laps. Finishing second was Corey Bigley, your pole sitter for that race. He led 11 laps. Third was Rick Rube. Fourth, Kiernan Church. And rounding out your top five was Eric Tracy. So after that race, Dylan Bates locked up the championship. He has 5 wins this season at Oswego, Southern National, Myrtle Beach, Hickory, and then, of course, last week at Oxford. And finishing second in points, he has officially locked that up. That's John Bennett, 24 points back from Dylan Bates. He has 2 wins this season at Slinger and Sobo. But still, there are some points positions still on the line. Kiernan Church in third place. Yes, he is 41 points back from your point standings leader, Dylan Bates. But fourth in points, Aaron Abendroth. He is only 6 points behind Kiernan. So that position could be up for grabs, although Aaron is not in the race tonight. And Rick Rube, who is currently 5th in points, he is only 3 points back from Aaron Abendroth, and he should be able to leapfrog him to 4th, considering that Aaron is not here in the field tonight. Now, other winners this season include Jake Boehm. He won at Lanier. That was the season opener. And Corey Bigley got it done 2 races ago at the Bull Ring. So we've had 4 different winners this season. We have been to 9 different tracks. And again, all of them ending right here at Langley Speedway. Look at what's going on in practice right now. We've got a very close practice session going on. Corey Bigley and Eric Tracy are your top 2, but Tracy is only 0.04 of a second off of Corey Bigley. So your top 2 very close. Then in third, Dylan Bates, he's only 0.02 off of Corey Bigley. Kiernan Church in 4th, he's 0.03 off of Corey Bigley. And then looking to John Bennett in 5th, he is 0.06 off of Corey Bigley. The top 6 are all less than a 10th separated. That is absolutely insane. It shows me that we are going to have an absolute barn burner of a season finale. Some really close racing to finish off this season. Of course, we're doing it right here at Langley Speedway. A little bit of information on the track. Langley Speedway is in Hampton, Virginia. It's immediately adjacent to NASA's Langley Research Center. The oval has been the launching pad for many NASCAR careers. It was the site of 9 NASCAR Grand National races. With a length of under 0.4 of a mile, this track can be tricky to master with under 10 degrees of banking in the turns, 6 degrees to be exact. It's flat as a pancake, very tricky, very hard on the tires. So tire management, even with only 75 laps, is going to be very key for these drivers. And we are taking this place on in the mini stocks. This was the inaugural Thunderstruck mini stock season, and I've ran a lot of the races I've announced last week, and boy, they're fun to drive, they're fun to watch. Great addition for iRacing, featuring the same technical specifications as its dirt oval counterpart. The mini stock has a fine, small asphalt oval race car for short oval and mile oval use, and does it really well in local races across the country. With a 2.3-liter inline 4-cylinder 2V OHC engine, making 200 horsepower, OEM strut 4-link coil springs, for its suspension, OEM disc, and drum brakes, along with Hoosier Racing tires and a modified OEM frame with reinforced roll cage. The car is a near one-to-one exact of its dirt counterpart, with the main difference is its main use for asphalt, short track, and mile oval racing. Nevertheless, the similarities, the mini stock and its dirt counterpart, are bound to be fan favorites. One thing to note is that the dirt mini stock counterpart revs up to 8,500 RPMs, while this asphalt mini stock, it can rev up to 7,500 RPMs. It was added this year on iRacing, and I'll say it again, one of the best additions that iRacing has made to the asphalt oval section of their simulator in quite some time. They're fun to drive, and hopefully maybe iRacing can add some more tracks that will suit these mini stocks. But we've got qualifying underway. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. That will determine where they will start in the feature. It's Dylan Bates to the top of the board with a 17.67. Eric Tracy leapfrogs that to a 17.02. Keith Lichton will enter to second, and on his second lap, Dylan Bates with a big pickup. He goes to a 16.84. Eric Tracy is second with a 17.02. He improves on his second lap to a 17.90, but still 600ths off of Bates. Jake Boehm currently third on the board with a 17.03. Rick Rube goes to third with a 16.97, about a 10.5 off of Bates. John Bennett goes to third with a 16.97, 10th off of Bates. There's him slowing down after his run. Jake Boehm has completed both of his laps, but he continues to stay out onto the track, getting some extra laps in. Just still trying to figure out this track. The mini stocks are a tricky car to drive, but here at Langley, it is a tricky car-track combo. And that apron really adds an extra level to this race here tonight. Langley is unique as it does have that apron down on the bottom of the racetrack that you can drive down onto. And it can really help you. If your car is tight, you can get down onto it. It can help free the car up. But at the same time, if your car is already pretty free, if you clip it, it can, freed up too much, can cause you to spin out or at least really lose drive off the corner. So you got to try to use the apron with balance. If you need it, you can use it. If you don't, it's probably best to stay off it. Elliot Carlson out there on the racetrack right now, looking for his first mini stock win of the season. Would love to do it here tonight at Langley. He won in the late model series this season at Oswego, but still has not done so with these mini stocks. Looks like we've got 11 drivers in the field tonight. Where will Carlson stack up among them? Goes to 10th on his first lap, 17.11. About 0.2 off of Bates. Oh, we do have another person just join, Jared Fry. And William Griffith also joined, so a few others looking to compete in this race. That brings our car total to 13. Carlson has completed both of his laps, but he continues to stay out onto the track, trying to get things dialed in. I would say naturally, here at Langley, you're pretty tight, at least off the corner. So it's all about just trying to work through the corner and have enough rotation to get up off. You've seen a few drivers break it loose, but it's normally because you're so far up the racetrack. When you gas it up, you either hit the wall or spin it out. And qualifying will wrap up here. See Sam Wetstein in the YouTube chat. He says, I'm working. Had to miss. Sorry you couldn't make it, Sam. But glad you tuned in here on Intensity Broadcasting to catch what happens here in this season finale. Going to have a 1-minute warm-up just to give these drivers one last opportunity to get their cars dialed in. I don't think there's any in-car adjustments that you can make with these cars, but still gives them at least an opportunity to run around other cars, try to find the right line, practice braking points, entry, exit, throttle up points, what have you. We're watching John Bennett, who has second place in points locked up. It's been a good season for him. 2 wins, trying to get the hat trick here tonight at Langley. Eric Tracy to the top of the board in this warm-up with a 17.04. Griffith, about 0.2 off of him in second. It's Jared Fry third on the board. Elliott Carlson jumps to second. Then John Bennett goes to the top of the board just as we wrap up the warm-up. It's a little too late with some of the speed we're seeing from John Bennett. As Dylan Bates has the championship locked up. All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's event. Starting on the pole with a scorching out lap time of 16.837. That's the 91 of Dylan Bates on his outside. That is Eric Tracy in the 66. Third is the 08 of John Bennett. Fourth is Rick Rubin, the 81. And rounding out your top 5, that is the 28 of Corey Bigley. Sixth is Velocity Motorsports' is Josh the Jet Oswald in the 17. Seventh is the 22 Velocity Motorsports machine of Kiernan Church. Eighth is Jake Bayman, the 18. Ninth is the 6 Oval Addicts driver of Tyler Rice. And rounding out your top 10, that is the 09 of Elliott Carlson. 11th is Lichton Wallner Motorsports' is Keith Lichton Wallner in the 168. 12th is Reaper Racing's William Griffdozer Griffith in the 12. And rounding out the field in 13th, that is Jared Fry in the number 5. So there we go. The field is set. 13 mini stocks ready to duke it out, chasing the win. Your pole sitter, Dylan Bates, certainly knows how to do that. He's done it 5 times this season, while Eric Tracy has not been able to break through. It's been a little bit of a rough go at it this season, so he would love to finally close things out this season with a race win. John Bennett, also another driver who knows how to get it done. 2 wins at 2 very different tracks, Slinger and Sobo. Rick Rube, another driver on the outside like Eric Tracy, who would love to finish off the season with a win. He's had a pretty solid, consistent season. He's consistently been in the top 3 all season long, but has not been able to break through. So Rick Rube, his shot could be tonight. As for Corey Bigley, started on the pole last week. Could not get it done, but he does have a win at the Bull Ring. Others, watch out for Josh Oswald, Jake Bayme, Kiernan Church. I mean, this whole field extremely competitive. It's going to be a fun way to close out the season. Here we go. Pace car is in, and green flag is out. Your 75-lap mini stock feature is underway here at Langley. Bates able to get clear into turns 1 and 2. It's Bennett, Tracy, side by side off the corner. Oh, Bennett into the outside wall. There goes Tracy. Rube collected. Oswald, Bayman to the outside wall. It's a parking lot on the backstretch, and that didn't last long. And that was right up front, too. Here's a look at the wreckage replay. We see it's Eric Tracy, John Bennett, side by side for second. As we head through 1 and 2, Corey Bigley, Rick Rube behind them. And we see off the corner, John Bennett just pushes up, goes right across the nose of the 66, sends him into the outside wall. See Rube's involved, Oswald, Tyler Rice, Jake Boehm. Wow. Not the way that many drivers wanted to start their night tonight. We see Jake Boehm is on pit road, looking to get some damage fixed. Eric Tracy also went down pit road and got a fast repair. Man. Dylan Bates still remains your race leader, but we see Corey Bigley gains 3 spots and gets up to second. Kiernan Church, he gains 4 spots and gets to third. Kiernan Church, I believe, has locked up third in points because Aaron Abendroth missed this race. Some very crazy circumstances would need to happen for Rick Rube 5th in points to potentially get by Kiernan for 3rd in points. And so far, the crazy circumstances have not been in the favor for Rick Rube. He's 10th right now. But it's Corey Bigley, Dylan Bates making up your front row as we head to the restart. Green flag is back in the air, and Corey Bigley got a big jump on the outside. I don't know what happened with Bates. I don't know if he was slow with his shifting, maybe missed a shift. But, oh, they door each other off the corner. Bigley has the nose as they head into 3 and 4. There goes Bates on the bottom. Bigley way up the racetrack, and Bates is able to clear him. Oh, contact. Church stuck his nose in there. He will slip in line into 3rd. Corey Bigley in 2nd, but there goes Josh Oswald to the outside of the 22. They are side by side. Church with the nose off the corner. Oh, he gets a little bit loose after clipping that apron. So there goes Oswald in. Church is continuing to slip and slide around the racetrack. Not getting the drive off he wants. Oswald trying to clear him on the outside. Can't quite, yes, and there as Church continues to fight it. Oswald able to get that spot, but it's Dylan Bates, your race leader. He's got Corey Bigley all over his back bumper. The Bates and Bigley show continues just as it was last week at Oxford Plains and the week before at the Bull Ring. These two are the class of the field, and they may have some more competition eventually, but we need Rick Rube and Eric Tracy to make their way back up to the field after getting caught up in that first lap incident. Dylan Bates, fastest mini stock on the track right now, 16.93 was his best lap time. But there we go. Bigley, he traded that with a 17.93. Eric Tracy with a 16.92. He is fast, but he's in 11th, just trying to work his way back up through the field. He doesn't have any damage. He just needs track position. And that's right. There will be a free custom tee for a random driver who has ran at least 6 races from samalley.com. The drawing is going to be post-race, so one lucky driver who ran this season will be able to get a custom t-shirt courtesy of samalley.com. They're the sponsor of our late model series here with Thunderstruck. So big shout out to Sam and Allie of samalley.com for providing that for these drivers. Well, it's Dylan Bates, Corey Bigley up front. And there will also be a free custom t-shirt for the champion as well. So Dylan Bates has the championship locked up here tonight. He will be receiving that custom t-shirt. But he may not have the win tonight. Would love to get the championship and the win on the same night, but that may not be possible as Corey Bigley is right there continuing to put pressure. Looks low off of 2. Can't quite get to that back bumper yet. Bigley won the race at Langley in the late model series, so we'll see if that success in the late models can translate to the mini stocks. Your top 2 are coming up on lap traffic. That is Keith Lichtenwalner Lichtenwalner already 2 laps down in this race. They dropped down to 3 laps. Bigley gave Bates a little bit of a shot there off the corner, but that was kind of the wrong place because it gave Bates a little bit of a speed boost. There's Bigley just continuing to get in that back bumper. We see Lichtenwalner gives them the bottom. So there they are off the corner. Wow, what a battle we are seeing for your top 2 right now. Dylan Bates, Corey Bigley so far. Bates has been able to play defense and hold off that 28, but he is right there waiting to pounce. You see Bigley keeps looking low on entry, just cannot get the drive off that he needs. See another big run there into 3 and 4. Utilizing that apron a little bit. You see those left side tires dip down there. But Dylan Bates knows what needs to happen when it comes to getting wins. Again, he's been the most successful driver this season. Series champion, 5 wins. Looking for win number 6. That's extremely impressive. This was the first time any Thunderstruck series has ran these mini stocks. Bates picked them up extremely quick, and he's done extremely well. Every single track type they go to, I mean, he's found success. But Corey Bigley, he would most likely be in the running for the championship, but he only ran 5 races this season prior to this one. This is his 6th start. Could not make some of the races due to other commitments. But if he ran the full season, Bigley would certainly be in contention because he has stayed right with Bates all season long, and he could get this race win. We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. But after 25 laps, let's look at a flyby through the field. See where your favorite driver is running. Dylan Bates currently leads with Corey Bigley not too far behind in 2nd. Then it's Kiernan Church in 3rd. Josh Oswald in 4th. See William Griffith currently rounds out your top 5. John Bennett currently in 6th. See that nose a little bit crinkled up from that lap 1 incident. Eric Tracy, another driver involved, has worked his way back up from 7th after having a restart in the back. Jake Boehm is in 8th right now, having to really fight the car. There's Tyler Rice in 9th. Looking underneath him, Elliot Carlson rounds out your top 10. Then it's Jared Fry in 11th. Rick Rube currently in 12th. See, he has some damage from the wreck. And Keith Lichtenwalner rounds out the field in 13th. He is 3 laps down. So lap 28 out of 75, we look back to the battle for the race lead between Dylan Bates and Corey Bigley. These two have been at each other's throats all race long. We see Bigley almost getting to his back bumper there, just trying to find the right opportunity to use that chrome horn. Langley is a pretty easy track to pass at if you set up your pass right. But at the same time, Bigley just got to be careful, making sure he's not burning up his tires too much as he tries to chase down and get by Bates for this race lead. It's been clean and green so far in this one after that initial caution on the first lap. Drivers maybe learning from that and saying, hey, let's not do that again, because a lot of stuff got torn up there. But Corey Bigley, Dylan Bates certainly benefited from it. They were your front row on the restart after that, and they have stayed your top 2 since then. So was Kiernan Church, who restarted in 3rd. He continues to hang on to that 3rd place spot. Corey Bigley just waiting for the right time to make the move on Dylan Bates. Best time for Bates last time was a 17.28. Bigley just a little bit slower with the 17.34. And I think just right now, Bigley, I mean, both drivers are doing the same thing. Bates and Bigley are both trying to manage their gaps between each other, as neither want to burn up their tires too early. So it's Bates, Bigley, continuing to play this game of cat and mouse that they've been playing all race long. They did the same thing again last week at Oxford Plains and the week prior to that at the Bull Ring. And these kinds of races also happen in the late model series. I mean, anywhere where Bates and Bigley are, they are always successful. Your top two fighting for that race win. They'll have some more lap traffic to deal with once again as they close in on Keith Lichtenwalner. So maybe Bigley sees this as an opportunity to use Lichtenwalner as a pick. We'll just wait and see when they catch him. And Bigley gets into the back bumper of Bates there, but nothing will come from it. I don't know if maybe Lichtenwalner kind of assisted with Bigley getting there, but we saw he gave Bates just a little bit of a bump. Bigley just still being patient and trying to make his move on Dylan Bates. Almost there again. Let's take a look at the onboard cam of Corey Bigley, just see what his view is as he tries to chase down Dylan Bates. There we go. He's getting lower off the corner than Bates. Just doesn't look like he has the drive off. Look at that. He's also entering in a little bit lower than Bates is. I don't know if that's in efforts to save tires. So look at that, at least a half a car length lower. Oh, he gets into his back bumper. Saw that there. That was a nice view of that. Bigley continues to try to shove his nose to that left rear quarter panel of Dylan Bates. And there's going to be some more lap traffic for Dylan Bates to deal with as he is catching Jared Fry. So this is another opportunity for Corey Bigley to try to use a lap car as a pick. Getting closer and closer to that 5 machine. There we go. What can Bigley do? We see Bates and Fry were side by side. That opens the door for Bigley. Almost got into his back bumper. But they continue to ride bumper to bumper for the time being. As we approach 25 laps to go, this cat and mouse game continues. See a big run into 3 and 4 for Bigley. Wow. I mean, throughout the season, these two have definitely had the mini stocks figured out. Again, these really fun cars to drive any track that you take them to. Really great addition by iRacing for adding them to the game. I haven't tried the dirt mini stocks yet, but I'm sure they are just as fun as well. There's Bigley sending it down into 1 and 2. Gets to the left rear of the 91, but he falls back. Bigley, he sent it down in there into the first corner. But nothing will come from that. More lap traffic for Dylan Bates to have to deal with. That's Rick Rube as Bigley once again tries to get into the left rear of the 91. If he can't get by Bates in time, he will have a shot to try to use another lap car as a pick as they come up on Rick Rube. Bates trying his best to protect the bottom, as he knows that's exactly where Corey Bigley is going to try to go. 22 laps to go in this one. And it's Bigley looking low through 3 and 4. Little wiggle there. And I mean, these two are in their whole other world because Kiernan Church is about 5 seconds back from them. Bigley just continuing to try to shove his nose to the 91. And I know Dylan Bates continues to see Rick Rube getting closer and closer, just trying to make a plan on what will happen when he catches him. Elsewhere in the field, John Bennett, Eric Tracy battling for the 5th place position. Eric Tracy was one of the drivers involved in that first lap wreck. Had to come in, take a fast repair, but he is right on the verge of breaking back into the top 5. We'll see if he can do so. Look back here to Bates and Bigley. Bigley fell a little bit behind, but he has narrowed the gap, and Bates will have 2 lap cars to deal with. Actually, 3. They're closing in on Lichtenwohner, Griffith, and Rick Rube all at the same time. And they're side by side right in front of Bates. This is a golden opportunity for Corey Bigley. Can he use it to his advantage? There's Bates getting to the back bumper of the 12, goes all the way down onto the apron, bounces off the left rear. There goes Bigley to the top. But there's Lichtenwohner up there. They're almost 3 wide. Bigley looks low, heading into 1 and 2. Can he get there? No. We see Bates makes it by Griffith. Bigley follows behind. They still have to get by Rick Rube, who was up ahead. Thought maybe Bigley was going to try to do something with those lap cars. Oh, we got a car around. Caution is out. And with 13 to go, the caution flag flies. And this is, again, very similar to what we saw at Oxford Plains, where Bigley was catching him. He was catching Bates, and then a late race caution comes out, does not end up getting the win. We'll see what happened. There's Jake Boehm. He's got Tyler Rice in front of him. Heading off a 4, really free off the corner. Takes it out to that outside wall as he enters turns 1 and 2. Goes all the way down on that apron into the grass. And he hits the curb, and it gets him loose sideways off the corner. And he's rolling backwards, trying to get off the racing surface. And he did manage to do so. So that was very odd. I don't know if just that little curb, if it caught Bame by surprise. But he will get one of his laps back and head back onto the lead lap. So we have 11 cars on the lead lap. All of them still with a chance to win, but all eyes are on your top two. They've been battling it out all race long. It's Dylan Bates and Corey Bigley. And don't count out the driver in third. That's Josh Oswald. He made it by Kiernan Church right before that caution flag came out. I know we can show that pass there. Just got underneath them off of 4. And he was able to clear him through 3 and 4. So that's how Josh Oswald made it to that third place spot. What can he do with it? He's starting right behind the leader. His back bumper in sight. Here we go. 7-lap shootout to decide this thing in the season finale. It's Bates, Bigley, Oswald, Kiernan Church, and John Bennett making up your top 5. Watch out for Eric Tracy as well in that 6th place spot. Oh, we see Church gets into Bigley's back bumper a little bit there as they're heading to the green. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air, and Dylan Bates up through the gears, leading the field into 1 and 2, but he's got Corey Bigley right on his outside. Bigley with the nose off of turn number 2. There's Bates fighting back. They door each other down the backstretch. Still door to door through 3 and 4. Bates, Bigley, swapping who's got the nose, but it's Bates. A nice run off the corner. He will lead that lap. Able to get clear of Bigley, but Bigley looks low underneath him off of turn number 2. He gets to that left rear, but Bates is able to shut the door. There's Oswald now trying to look underneath Corey Bigley for second. But Bigley, his eyes, and we will have another... Whoa, that's a big wreck there in 3 and 4. We will have a green-white checker to decide this thing as a caution comes out. And I didn't see all who was involved, but it looked like it was a traffic jam in 3 and 4. So here's Eric Tracy. Looks like his rough race continues. It looks like Kiernan Church pushes way up the racetrack. I don't know if he had contact from anybody, but he pulls up right in front of Tracy. Tracy goes down the racetrack across the nose of the 81. That sends both of them into the grass. But Tracy exits the grass. Back out onto the racetrack. Oh, Rick Rube pulls out into William Griffith. That sends him around. Jared Fry involved. There goes Jake Bame doing some agricultural racing. But that is what brings us to our green-white checkered. Your top 3 remains the same. Dylan Bates, Corey Bigley, Josh Oswald. We saw some drivers pit for damage. That was Rick Rube. His rough race continues, was involved in the lap 1 incident. Now caught up in that. He's down a lap for the amount of time he was on pit road. So can Dylan Bates close the season out with his 6th win of the season? Or can Corey Bigley get win number 2? Or can Josh Oswald get it done for the first time this season? It's been a little bit of a season to forget for Oswald. Last week at Oxford Plains, he finished 9th. Has had a few other rough go at it. But he's got a prime opportunity to try to finish the season off with a bang in the Christmas theme, number 17. And he's got a shot. So once again, he's right behind the back bumper of the 91, but lights on the pace car are off. We're getting ready to go back green. It's Dylan Bates on the bottom, Bigley on the top behind them. It's Josh Oswald, John Bennett, Elliot Carlson rounding out your top 5. And Kiernan Church is still there in the top 6 in that 22 machine. So here we go. Season finale, green, white, checkered. Pace car is in. And green flag is back in the air. There's Dylan Bates taking off, trying to secure the win. Bigley right behind him. He gives him a shot through 1 and 2. Continues to lay into that left rear off the corner. Oh, he's sideways. Bates is sideways. Both of them into the grass. Bates up into Rice. Oh, Griffith hard hit. And we will go back under caution for another green-white checkered attempt. Whoa. It all goes wrong in the battle for the race lead. Bigley sent it into 1 and 2. We see he pushes up into Bates's left rear, and he does not let go. Both of them slide down into the grass. And then we see Bates goes back into oncoming traffic, hits Elliott Carlson, Church is involved, Tyler Rice. Hard hit for William Griffith. He gets some airtime. So we're going to try this again with another green-white checkered with your top 2 being taken out. It's John Bennett. He is your race leader. That'll move Josh Oswald up to 2nd. Corey Bigley will stay in 3rd. I don't know if he will get an EOL for that incident. So far, he has not gotten one. So here we go now. John Bennett with a good shot to try to get a hat trick this season. Got it done at Slinger in South Boston earlier. Would love to close things out at Langley. He's got 2nd place in points locked up. The last thing that he can achieve this season would be another race win. Once again, Josh Oswald. And there we go. Corey Bigley did get an EOL penalty. So that will move Kiernan Church up to the 3rd place position as he tries to grab his first win of the season. Kiernan Church has been a perennial driver in the top 3 all season long, week in and week out. You will find him there, just has not been able to break into victory lane, so he could break the spell here tonight. So this race is now completely wide open. Lights on the pace car are off. We're getting ready to go back green. It's John Bennett on the bottom, Oswald on the top. Then it's Kiernan Church, Elliott Carlson, Tyler Rice rounds out your top 5. Jake Boehm there as well in the 6th place position. Dylan Bates, Corey Bigley will be on a mad dash to try to work their way up through the field and get as many spots as possible. They're the 2 fastest cars on the racetrack, but here we go. Pace cars, and it's anybody's race. Green flag is out. We're going to green-white checkered it here at Langley. We see John Bennett quickly takes the lead from Josh Oswald. The battle is on for 3rd, but there's Oswald on the back bumper of the 08, trying to fight for a race win for the first time this season. But Bennett seals off the bottom, trying to make sure that Josh Oswald doesn't have a shot. We see a car pushes up, hits the outside wall. No caution will come out. It's the final lap. Oswald into the back bumper of the 08, breaks him loose off the corner one final time. Can Oswald get to him? No, he is not going to be able to do so, and John Bennett takes advantage of the circumstances and closes out the season with a race win. Josh Oswald bringing it home in 2nd. Kiernan Church finishing in 3rd, and what a dramatic way to close out the season. Dylan Bates, despite starting from the rear of the pack, made it all the way back to 4th. Corey Bigley, same thing there. Started in the rear on the restart, made it back to 5th. But what a way to close out the season. Go ahead and pull up your results so you can see exactly where your favorite driver finished. And first, going to talk to Kiernan Church. He's still busy out on the racetrack. Driver from Mesa, Arizona. Him and Elliot Carlson are still doing a little bit of a demolition derby. Kiernan Church is burning it down because I believe with that finish, he has secured 3rd place in points. All right, let's go ahead and pull in Kiernan Church. Kiernan, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yep, gotcha.
Awesome. Well, what a way to close out the season here with a podium tonight at Langley. I know after this race, you secured top 3 in points, so that's a big accomplishment. But throughout this race, I know I saw you running in the top 3. Then that late race caution came out, and you had a little pucker moment where you pushed up the racetrack. Some cars checked up. We saw that caution, but you were able to stay in the top 3 and hang on to it. Couldn't quite get to Oswald and Bennett, but still ended up pulling off the podium. So just walk us through those last few restarts. I mean, it definitely looked like it was chaotic, especially for you.
Yeah, I never really had time to really run the top side. I never really ran it, and I felt like I was rolling pretty good. And then that one time I got in the gas and it did not turn. If I didn't let off the gas, I was going to destroy the car. So unfortunately, when I did that, I think it caused a little bit of mayhem and scattered and caused the caution. And then that last one, I was sleeping to where I couldn't get to the bumper of Bennett there to try to keep to the inside of Oswald, because me and Oswald were racing hard almost that whole race. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it definitely looked like some fun racing all throughout the pack there. But I know we had that long green flag run, and sure, tires was on everybody's mind. I mean, what was the key for you to saving tires tonight?
It was kind of hard because there was times I was able to try to drive it off the right rear by driving it in harder. So I was trying to do both ways to drive it to kind of even the wear, if anything. But it just was letting it roll was the main thing. Is the key to kind of saving the tire.
I got you. Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
I got to thank Josh for putting on Thunderstruck. It's always fun running pretty much almost all week with these guys. And then series sponsors at Sam Alley Co. And then thank you for doing the broadcast. It's always fun to go back and watch. So thank you.
Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight, Kiernan. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, later.
All right, now let's pull in your 2nd place finisher. Came so close to closing out the season with a win. It's Laurie Station, Pennsylvania's Josh Oswald. Josh, is that in the broadcast booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Awesome. Well, what a dramatic way to close out the season. Came so close to grabbing your first win of the season here tonight at Langley. I know you were kind of running in that top 5 range all throughout this race, and then you struck gold there with that late race restart. Restarted in 3rd, and after that, we saw Wreck up front able to get you to that 2nd place spot where, you were right behind Bennett. We're on his bumper a couple times, but just couldn't quite get by him. So, first of all, just walk us through this race, trying to work your way up into that top 3, and then after that, just, is there anything you maybe could have done differently on that final restart?
Yeah, it's most of the race. I was trying to keep the right front tire on it. It was in practice. It was being pretty abusive to the right front, the way the setup was. And when I got up there in 3rd, I got to 3rd right before the yellow come out, so that was a big help. And then when the lead 2 got together, I thought I was ahead of Bennett. I definitely, if I could have controlled the final restarts there, I was pretty certain I would have won the race. And I think if I would have had another lap or 2, I was able to get to Johnny's bumper and, kind of give him a little shove there, but, it wasn't enough. It kind of killed my momentum. But I think if I had another lap or 2, I may have been able to squeak the nose underneath him. But Johnny and I have raced clean all season, and I wasn't about to put him around for a win. So, all in all, it's been a great season. I want to thank all the drivers for showing up and you and Alex for broadcasting, and congratulations to Dylan Bates on winning the championship. And, this mini stock season wouldn't have been possible without Islander Inn, Kiernan's Gogo Juice, and our other sponsors, SamMalley.com, Flexible Freight Solutions, and Jet Designs. Overall, for the first season with the mini stocks, it was a success, and I'm pretty positive we'll be having the mini stocks back.
I was just about to say, as the league owner, you made the decision to have the first season of the mini stocks here, and I ran a lot of the races. They're really fun to drive. I mean, at the end of the season, after running at a bunch of different tracks, what are your overall thoughts of the mini stocks?
They're a real fun car to drive. You got to keep the momentum up. If they bog down, they're not fast. I think we would benefit from a little bit different setups because I've raced them in some open setup stuff, and they really have the potential to be a fast car. Either way, they're just a fun little, as we refer to it, bang banger to drive. It's a good time.
Now, before I let you go, Josh, is there any other sponsors or shout outs you want to thank?
I think I pretty much took care of it. My friends and family that watch the races, and also just to let you know, anybody that ran 6 or more races in mini stocks this season is eligible for a free custom T-shirt from SamMalley.com and Sam Wetstein. So as soon as we're done with this interview here, I'm going to spin the name, and you're part of it. You ran more than 6.
Well, fingers crossed that I can get it done, but love to see somebody else get it as well. So I'll pay attention to that and call it at the end of the broadcast. So go spin that wheel, Josh. Congrats on a good season. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And now let's go ahead and talk to your winner closing out the season with a hat trick on wins. It is John Bennett. John, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. Well, what a way to close out the season, getting a race win here at Langley. I know heading into this race, you had second place in points locked up, but last thing that you could accomplish was finishing things out in the win, and you're able to do so in dramatic fashion. Kept it around the top 5 for a lot of this one, and after that wreck happened, it was really close with your top 2. Both of them got into the incident, and after that, I didn't know if it was going to be you or Oswald that would be given the lead, but you ended up getting the lead, had control of the restarts, and you hung on to it after that, being able to hold off Josh Oswald in that final restart. So, just walk me through what was going through your head on those green-white checkered attempts and just trying to secure that win.
Coming up to it, they were fighting for it the whole race pretty much. They were just kind of working each other over, and I knew it was coming down to the last little bit there. They got into each other. I seen it, held it flat, and luckily iRacing did its thing and called me on the lead there. And once it was to that, I knew I just had to get a good restart, and it was going to be a ride to the finish.
Yeah, I know these restarts are tricky, especially when you've got a bunch of drivers right behind you also wanting to secure that win. But, in order to be up there, you had to do a good enough job saving tires throughout this race during that long green flag run. What were you doing in order to conserve things?
Yeah, just knew I had to save them because these things do get real tight in a run. And with what happened on lap 1 there, I was real surprised that I didn't need to take a quick repair. The thing was heading to the wall full speed. Somehow managed to get through it and just baby it the rest of the way, and things fell in our lap.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your win and podium in the final point standings?
Me, myself, and I got it here.
I got you. Well, again, congrats on finishing out the season with a win, John. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, you too.
Well, that will do it for tonight's event. One more time, congratulations to John Bennett on closing out the season with a win. Oh, excuse me. Being a little bit premature here. We got to talk to your series champion, Dylan Bates. Dylan, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Awesome. Well, able to secure the championship tonight here at Langley. I know you pretty much locked it up after Oxford Plains, but it's official here tonight at Langley. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about that race. I know you had control over that race for the first little bit and leading over Corey. Both of y'all were really close, and then that caution flag came out, saw Corey kind of send it into the corner. Both of y'all collided and went around off the corner, and that put both of you in the back. So, and able to still work your way all the way up to 5th. When I saw that, that was really impressive, but I know it's probably not the way you wanted that race to turn out.
No, not really. Definitely wanted to cap the season off with a win, but guess they had some other plans. So we'll take the championship and roll on.
Now, I know, again, you're a series champion, 5 wins this season, won at a bunch of unique tracks. I mean, what was the key to grabbing that championship this season, especially with the unfamiliar territory of these mini stocks first season run on them here at Thunderstruck?
Staying clean and staying out of trouble and minimizing the damage when you do find trouble, like we did tonight, is the big thing when it comes to championships. So we were able to miss a lot of wrecks and stay out front, and that's really the key.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your championship?
Yeah, man, just all the guys at VMS Motorsports and, Josh for putting on Thunderstruck. He worked really hard at this, and it's really cool. I think I got a Champions t-shirt coming, and I think he just gave away a free t-shirt to Seth Griffith. So pretty cool what he does here, and it's a lot of fun to run all these leagues on all these different nights of the week. A lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the championship, Dylan. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. Well, again, that will do it for tonight's event. Congratulations to Dylan Bates, and he announced that William Griffith was the winner of the SamAlley.com t-shirt. So congratulations to the Griffdozer for getting that, and Dylan Bates, again, will get a championship t-shirt. That is courtesy of SamAlley.com, the official sponsor of the Late Model Series. We'll talk more about them on Thursday, as they, again, will sponsor that Late Model Series. Appreciate Sam for stepping up and doing that. And again, forgot to mention it earlier in the broadcast, but thank you to Kiernan's Gogo Juice, Kiernan Church, for sponsoring this mini stock series. Thank you to Josh Oswald and all the admins for all that they do for Thunderstruck, helping keep it run smoothly. I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in to watch tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as that would be greatly appreciated. Trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And check out our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There we've got all of our Intensity merchandise, and we also offer custom printing. We can make shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and so much more for your race team, your business, or an event that you're having. We'd be happy to do it for you. Well, that was the season finale for this mini stock series. Make sure to stay tuned if you're in the Thunderstruck Discord or on Thunderstruck social media, so you know exactly when they announce when they're going back with the next season. Like Josh said, looks like they will be hoping to return with these mini stocks. But that is not it for Thunderstruck this season. On Wednesday, it is the modified season finale. Alex Feith will be on the call. They're going to be at Southern National. And then to close things out for the Thunderstruck Super Series, it's the late model stock season finale at Five Flags, fresh off the Snowball Derby race. You're going to see how all of it goes at Five Flags. So turn your notification bell so you do not miss when we go live with the final 2 Thunderstruck races of the season. I'm Matt Atman, on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so